You know what this is. This is a disclaimer. Any subject in this Scipio rant is just purely an opinion piece of my own and does not reflect the views of any of the shows and or companies mentioned in this review. Plus, no footage, audio, video, blah blah blah, music, things like that were used in the making of this rant or in any CodeEquestria video, we think. Leave your comments down below and feel free to discuss. It's been a bit since the last time I ranted about anything. And the last time that I did, it was about the Xbox One and its propriety for removing the DRM, and I said it was a bad long-term decision. In the 3 weeks since that rant, there have been petitions on the internet stating that people are like uh, me in the sense, and they're trying to get it reverted back. Now, granted, this rant is not for that, but let me just state right here for the record, your petition blows. There's going to be far too many people that actually like the changes for this to happen. I stand by my rant that I said earlier. We're only delaying the inevitable. So, what is this rant about exactly? Well, it's about not necessarily a trend I'm noticing, but rather a kind of inkling that has been confirmed in recent years. Sure, we're all of the opinion of the YouTube generation that retro is in. Everything old is new. In terms of TV, this is massively occurrent thanks to shows like Hawaii Five-O, Fear Factor, Let's Make a Deal, Whose Line Is It Anyway? All these old shows coming back on primetime TV. But if you think the retro revival juice started on primetime, it didn't. It actually started in the kids division. Animated shows, things of that nature are really where this trend begins. And with the recent announcement by Saban and by virtue Vortex, the Saturday morning lineup for CW stations across the nation announcing the return of Digimon in the form of Digimon Fusion, it got me honestly thinking about this. Did I foresee something many videos ago when I stated that Code Lyoko was only the Pied Piper to a revolution of sorts, that the end of dumb TV had finally come to pass? Well, lo and behold, I may be right. So yes, this is kind of a Scythia rant, tooting my own horn in my own pronunciation, but this also brings up a strange thing. The question of why. Why is the TV landscape going backwards and not forwards? Well, to answer that question, we needn't look around for any research. We just need to look at ourselves. You see, this rant is more or less a rant about nostalgia goggles, or the term nostalgia goggles. You see, when people usually use the term nostalgia goggles. They're usually talking about someone or a group of people that are feeling a Jones for something old from their youth. Although that is true, that's not entirely the case. You see, nostalgia not only comes from a place of remembrance, it comes from a place of it actually being good. You see, when somebody has nostalgia goggles, it's not the fact that they're trying to remember something from way back when and trying to get it back. People have nostalgia goggles nowadays because of the fact that TV as a whole, as a genre, has been utter crap. I mean, think about it. Most of the new shows that came out this last winter spring season were canceled. I mean, episodes, shows like Life in Jersey, countless others like Green Lantern and Young Justice weren't picked up. Game shows like Oh Sit and even the new Fear Factor didn't make it. Hannibal was in big trouble for a large part of the season, and even CBS's Vegas was given the old Evo after a strong start. Strong start. In fact, of of the many pilots that was premiered during the fall spring season, only about 5 of them have have done well enough to survive another day. A lot of the shows that are coming out in September and August are brand new shows. There aren't aren't that many from last season returning, and the shows returning are old established favorites or reboots of something else. Even great show, even great shows like Touch couldn't survive past a year and a half. Which thus brings up the problem of nostalgia goggles. The reason why people are having nostalgia goggles is because they're looking for something stable, something good, something continuously watchable, like the returning Nick Cannon's Wild Out, which, by the way, I watched the season premiere. It's still funny. And now you've even got Cartoon Network even resurrecting one of their old cartoons in a rebooted version of the Powerpuff Girls. Plus, you're also going to see other reboots. Even Minute, a game show that hasn't had a new episode in 2 years, recently got rebooted by GSN with Apollo Ono as its host. Co- combine combine that combine that with a ton of other shows in development, especially in the animated genre. There are rumors that Akira Toriyama is about to give us a brand new chapter, and not just a movie, but a brand new series in the Dragon Ball lineup. And even Sailor Moon is slated to return in a 2014-2015 capacity, maybe. Also, there Also, with the reboot of Ninja Turtles being, being a success and others, it looks like the animated genre will be largely the home of the return of reboots in the recent years. There's not going to be a lot on the prime time sector. Now, prime time is usually reserved for the new stuff, but it's really the animated genre that's got the old nostalgia goggles buzzing. It looks like the era of SpongeBob SquarePants and dumb TV has finally reached its end, and we're about to go to the apex of what's good again. The only bad thing is it's not anything new. It's partially an I told you so, but it's also partially I'm worried. If animated studios, especially, let alone primetime studios, can't come up with a new original idea to save their ass and have to go back to what's retro in order to dig something up, heck, even One Life to Live and One Life to Live and All My Children have a new home on Hulu of all places, thus ensuring that the soap opera is not officially dead, but it is a rather interesting trend. But the real answer to the nostalgia goggles problem comes in where this video is going. It's going to YouTube. It's going to the internet, the home where nostalgia is just about as brand new as anything else. See, the only reason we use the term nostalgia to describe any of this is because of the generational gap, because people of my age, 29, 30, and older, remember this as established fare. But in the internet age of the 21st century, great shows that we used to talk about, much like Digimon, are starting to find a new generation of fans being created from them due to the internet phenomenon, and more specifically YouTube. Because of this need for nostalgia, the networks and studios of the shows that make them see a great opportunity to capitalize on quote unquote nostalgia when really the proper term should be these new age burgeoning audiences, and thus resurrecting a series from the dead. That's why, even after 20 years almost, Power Rangers has found a way to survive the lightning rod of constant cancellation and pain that is the genre it's held together for nearly 2 decades. But but the show is mainly a big part of what the future holds, because much like the last episode of Defiance this season, past is indeed prologue. It's just funny how past can be prologue and epilogue at the same time, because this too shall pass, and then, maybe in a decade and a half after that, the nostalgia goggles will be back over again, which unfortunately means a new generation will find Jersey Shore entertaining. God hopes that I'm in a grave before we get to that. Live life by the code.